Okay, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Salatu, Salamu, Rasulullah, Assalamu alaikum, Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. I'm assuming I've gone live now. It all looks like it has from technology this end. I'm here today with Amy, who is one of our certified Back to the Future mentors and coaches. And we're going to have our Friday live conversation. And today I think we want to focus a bit on how, even though we're quite different, we can still have good relationships. Wouldn't you say, Amy, that that's what we want to talk about? Give a bit of hope and possibility out there?
Yeah, most definitely. That's where I've seen most of the shifts in that, and yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, being a convert and being a Muslim and integrating into a marriage that is totally different culture really has shifted me in that way, and the biggest shifts that I've had is through that. And I've realized that I can, with our difference, I could see the differences, and I can really just know who I am and be who I am, and step into those areas of where I want to experience them, in their culture. And like I can, choose to dress like them, or I can choose to dress like me. That's just one example.
Yeah.
And it was like really hard for me to do that, and sometimes, because like it just felt really, some, like, for example, like the jewelry and the very elaborate stuff that they do, it was hard for me to like do that. I don't know, that sounds sort of funny. It's like very little thing, but those were very or just like, being okay with, having different foods, and accepting, like, sometimes we eat my food, or sometimes we'll eat their food, and either way is okay, and we both sort of have like that understanding, and that our kids are like have that love for both of those things. So
There was a time, I remember when we first started working together, quite a while ago now, subhanAllah, that it was really quite distressing for you that you couldn't get them to understand your perspective, and that it really felt like you had to get them to understand your perspective in order for everything to be okay, especially when it came to parenting the kids and routines around the kids, like bedtimes and things like that. It was quite stressful, wasn't it?
yeah, so yeah, and it really was, and I felt like I was just trying, and I was trying to make everything and everyone, and I felt like I spent so much energy doing that, so much time and energy. And now if something is a little out of whack, like, I can communicate it in a way that I sort of need, I need to. I can just say like, oh, well, look, we can, go back to doing this or something, and we can change it around a little bit, but I don't have to put so much energy in my thoughts about it. I can let things go, and I can, give energy and time to myself. Like right now I have a new baby, so I can give myself that time that I need to be with her, and focus on her and me, and I can let the other things go with the kids. I can let them do their thing. They can be with their cousins. They can sort of be out of their sleep habits. They can, you know, it's all good really right now. Yeah.
So it's almost like we get ourselves caught up in this idea that unless we have it the way that we understand or expect it to be, that the world is going to fall apart. But what I've seen from the stories that you've told us, especially recently through the last stages of your pregnancy and the birth and everything, you had to just let go. You just physically could not, do everything.
Mhm,
You had to rest, and
mhm.
you had to let go of how things were meant to be. And everything kind of worked out, didn't it? Even though it wasn't the way you would have done it, it still worked out okay when other people took over and did it their way.
Yeah, and I think I really got a sense of that, like allowing people to do things their own way. And that was really cool because, if I didn't go through my pregnancy and all of this, I wouldn't have seen that. I
Mm.
wouldn't have, like, it's like Allah subhanahu puts you in that situation you really need to be in, and then it allows you to really see what you needed to see, and you get to see that, and then you get to just be in that. And it's a really amazing feeling because it feels like it's uncomfortable, like you can't handle it, but then you realize, oh no, I am okay. I can bear this. It's nothing that I can't bear, and that's all along those lines of, Allah subhanahu says that, I don't give a burden on a person that they can't bear, and um I really felt that in the end of my pregnancy. I didn't I mean, I was put in situations where, like, okay, that's it. I'm resting, I'm sleeping, I'm about to have my baby. I I can't have my baby if I'm tired, I can't have, and part of me was like, I really need love right now. I need to have connection and hugs, and I need to feel that support and warmth, And I was able to create that for myself and give myself that from the people, and and everybody, and I got that reaction from what I needed from the people around me. And
Mm.
that's what's so beautiful, amazing. It's this like powerful feeling
So
that
you didn't. So when we find ourselves like feeling that we need that connection, we often, as women, I think, get into these passive aggressive type of
hmm
like ways of trying to get that attention. But
yeah.
your experience was very different, wasn't it? It was very honest, authentic, and just upfront of like, I need this right now. And
Yeah.
and
I was yeah,
the
I
question
was
I had,
apologizing. Yeah. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
the question I had for you, because I've seen such a shift in you over, especially there's been something that shifted really through this last part of your pregnancy and everything as well. Did you also let go of how they would show up with that connection and love and just accept it the way they could give it? Was that something else that was a bit different about it?
Yeah, there was no expectation
Mm.
of how it's gonna come. There was none at all. I just put that intention, and did my part, put that effort in. And, you know, there were parts when I was lacking, and I'm like, I'm sorry right now. I was saying sorry to people, and I was just being like, and the authenticity of it came out,
Mm.
and the beauty of it came out. And
So when you say
yeah.
you did your bit, because I think for somebody who's listening to this, and especially it
Mhm.
comes up sometimes in our conversations or in the conversations with people online about this whole love languages things, and they don't speak my love languages and everything. And what you're talking about is the fact that we don't need to have love languages, we just need to love each other.
Mhm.
So when you say that you did your bit, they might be curious, what does that mean, or what does that look like, you did
Look
your bit?
like, yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's a kind of a profound statement on its own like that. Can you unpack it a little bit more?
Yeah, it is very profound, and when you understand it, it's an amazing feeling. So doing my bit looks like this, especially if I can give you just a picture of it, for the end of my pregnancy. So it's, for me, this is a really big thing, is nourishing my body, exercising. I started exercising and walking and just giving myself that love, because I knew that's what I needed to sort of release and to feel. And then I just was with people. I just like, was spending the iftar and the suhoor with everyone, and just being live with them. And because I knew once I'm postpartum, like, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I intentionally spent the time being with the people who are going to be supporting me, who I'm trusting to support me and take care of my children with me, and just giving them, helping them with, like, making them, like, I was making them like a little ginger tea or something, just like, that was how I felt like I am giving my love to them. I'm sharing with them, I'm doing something for them that I feel good about. And and it showed up, it showed through that, just those little moments.
I think the key thing that comes out in what you're saying is it's the authenticity and genuinity of it, isn't it? It's the not, I'm doing it because I should do it. It's because I want to show up and love you. And because you've come from that space, they've been able to reciprocate that. And you got what you needed then out of the relationship, out of reciprocation from the fact that you just showed up authentically in the relationship. Is that how you would?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I would put it. I just made that intention. I did the things that I felt I could to put that effort in.
It's really makes so much possible, doesn't it? Because when we feel like we're lacking something, we tend to come from a fearful space of desperation, which is where the passive aggressive type of moves come from, or the demanding, or the becoming snappy, or that sort of thing. What you're saying is, if we come from a space of just genuine love, what gets reflected back at you is the same genuine love in return. SubhanAllah. That's beautiful, isn't it? And what that means is it's hopeful for anyone, because it starts with us. We don't have to change anybody else. Because the where you started, it looked like it was almost going to be impossible to stay in that environment with their culture dominating over you, and that their way dominating over you, and that you had to fight to have your culture and your bit and your say, right? That's how it felt before, didn't it? And it was like a battle. You were angry a lot, you were sad a lot, because you came to our sessions and shared those feelings, and feeling like perhaps you weren't seen, that you weren't listened to. And now you're describing something completely different. And I guess that they haven't actually changed. They've still got their culture. They haven't suddenly shed their adopted the Western culture or anything like that. It's still the same situation, isn't it?
Oh yeah, very much so. And I feel at peace that I don't feel like I have to have that expectation from them. That I feel very free, actually, because I know, like, because I am my own person, I'm my own human being, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created me with my own unique experiences, my own uniqueness, and that's the exact same way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created them, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created them with their unique thinking, their unique culture, whatever you want to say. And it says in the Quran that we should get to know each other and each other's differences, and And it's just, to me, that's very profound, because I married into a culture, or into a different religion, I mean, not a different religion, but into a different culture. And, I get to experience that with them.
Mm.
Now I see I get to do it.
Yeah. Whereas before it felt like, well, this is just also my own interpretation from my own experience
Yeah.
as well, before we have this understanding. It feels like, in a way, that we're giving up our culture, or we're sacrificing something, and that
Mm,
it just feels like a battle. But when it's a case of, you know what, I feel confident in who I am and what I
mm,
bring forward, and I can always represent the good parts of my culture, and I don't need to represent the bad parts of my culture, and I don't even need to see it as a battle of the cultures. And now I
no.
can enjoy their culture.
Yeah, I can authentically enjoy the people. I am starting to step into that, and I'm starting to, you know, allow myself to just be with them the way they are. And I feel like it's great. It's a great opportunity for my kids. It's a great opportunity for me. And it's a great opportunity for others too, because, you know, through my experiences, I get to share. I just feel like it's a place to share and a place to express, and instead of a constriction, being
Yeah.
constricted by it.
So it makes, if it were to like take this from a family scale and then blow it up out, blow it out. It makes world peace possible, doesn't it? Because you can see that we don't have to be the same to get along. We can actually have really loving connections with people, even if they think and behave completely differently to us.
Yeah, we can, exactly. And we get to listen and learn and love them, like, and just be with them.
Mm.
And and
Actually seeing
I
them,
think,
actually. Isn't it seeing them? Isn't it for the first time we actually really get to see them, because we're
yeah.
we're no longer filtering it through our own thoughts, but seeing them.
I'm sorry, she just started. Um, we get to see them. I just missed the last of it. I'm so sorry. My daughter, she cried a little.
It's like we really actually start to get to see who they really are, as opposed to with the filters that we have going on, that's coloured the way we've seen them.
Yeah, there's the the filtering and the goes away, and yeah, you're right, we get to see them, and we get to allow them to be who they are. And I feel like I've experienced this more with like my sister-in-laws and them, and just like, I know like the bits and pieces of them, and things that they like, and I can I can just share with them in a way, like, I sort of know like things that make them happy, and like when I express things with them through those things, like there's this really strong connection. And when, and they're like I'll share this because it's like they're close relationships, and you have the most, we have the most tests with the people who are close to us, right? Our relationships, and it's given me a sense of dealing them with them in a just way, in a fair way, in a loving way. And it's opened doors. Like, I've been able to, if there's some type of misconception or something that comes in the way, I felt like I've been able to, nip it in the butt and get it worked out before it's become anything. And I feel like that, being able to listen and hear people through that respect, um, has been something really amazing to experience. because usually something like that can just, it'll be delayed, or like, somebody won't, but it's just been easy to be able to like, well, this is how I was feeling, and I just want to reach out to you and let you know, like,
Mm.
and that's like one of the biggest, one of the biggest things for me, and keeping the ties and the relationship strong, and allowing people to be who they are, and yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's so beautiful, is the allowing people to be who they are, because that's what we want, isn't it? We want to be allowed to
Hmm.
be who we are. And
Hmm.
so by being able to do it for others, the opportunity comes for us to be that with them too. SubhanAllah. It's just so profound, isn't it? That there's actually nothing to do. It's all about the way we look at it just shifting.
Hmm. Yeah, it's the way, we think, there's, yeah, and it's not about holding on to anything, or over looking at it. It just, you allow yourself to be with it and see where you need to go, and it just leads you in that direction. It's like it's a self-led discovery.
Sorry, I was just
Okay,
checking that our post was working on Facebook, and so the sound came back at you. You heard your own voice.
that's okay.
Very disarming when that happens, isn't it? Yeah. Is there, like, I think we've covered this topic pretty well, at least hopefully opened people's minds to this idea that if you come from a place of love, it's just amazing what happens. Is there
Mhm.
anything else that you can think of that you want to share, that might help those who are listening and having challenging relationships, especially relationships where they feel like they're not understood, they're
Mhm.
not heard, they're not seen, because that's kind of how you probably felt at the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I
kind of
felt very like,
dominated by the, yeah, because you felt kind of dominated by the people around you. And I know I get a lot of sisters come to us, feeling that way.
mhm.
What would you like to say to them?
I would like to say that, I was definitely coming from a place of wanting to run away and wanting to escape those feelings. And, you know, now that I understand this, now that I have this hope, I really, um, I just feel in awe of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I feel in awe of, what I've been through. And I feel like, blessed in a way, like, this was my journey, and this is, I needed to go through all of that to see where I am at right now. And our struggles can make us very strong, and can make us into, they're building us into something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just wants us to go through those things, and it's okay. And um there is a way out of it. And it's through, and if you think about Allah's attributes, he is, al wadud, or he's the love, he's the mercy, he's the compassionate. And if we can curate that into, ourselves, and just allow, ourselves to be with that, I mean, you can just see how that could impact the world.
Mm.
I mean, we're impacting just our family, we're impacting our families, but I mean, those people are gonna go out, they'll feel that, they're gonna spread that too.
Mm.
It's very
Like
impactful.
it's like a ripple effect, isn't it? We're all
Yeah.
creating our own ripple, but with enough of those ripples being created, eventually it'll all overlock. And yeah, if we just can change one family at a time, eventually all those families connect with one
Mhm.
another, right?
Yeah.
We,
Hmm.
what just came to my mind? You know how, I don't know whether you saw them, but I saw when they were trying to scare us into isolation around the COVID-19, how it can transmit from one to another and how many people come in contact with and all that sort of thing. Let's take the COVID-19 out of it and turn it into something positive and go, look at how much difference we can make in the world with all of our interconnections with each other.
Yeah,
if we can share the love.
exactly. All we have to do is share the love. It just starts
So
there.
we need to start a love pandemic. That's what it is. We need a love pandemic.
Yeah. We need to scare people into loving each other.
No.
No, it doesn't work.
The opposite of love is fear, and we don't do
No.
scare people into love.
No, we need to love each other into loving each other. It's energetic. That's what it is.
Exactly what you just described, that you just show up with the love and the love comes back. So
Yeah.
if we spread love like COVID-19,
Yeah.
what a
Spread the love.
make in the world. Yes. Alhamdulillah. I think that's a really beautiful thought to leave on.
That's a very beautiful thought.
Yeah. I love pandemic. Okay, this is going to be our
Love pandemic.
back to the picture.
Yeah, thanks.
Love pandemic.
We'll start hashtagging it.
Yes, hashtag love pandemic. That's it. Right. Yep, we've got it. Thank you so much, Amy, for going way out of your way to be able to be here today. So, your baby's what, 5 weeks old now?
She's almost a month this weekend.
Oh, only almost a month. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about just having had a newborn. Lots of other children in the background. We saw one of them popping into the car.
Yeah.
Arrange everyone to be at the park and hubby to be there to keep an eye on them just so she could be here with us today. So we really appreciate that, Amy, and really appreciate your, sharing that, your honest, authentic journey of your experience of people and the people in your life and how things have just changed for you. Because I think the first thing we need to spread before people will change is hope. And I think your story brings hope, that even when it feels completely hopeless, there is possibility. Because at times it felt really hopeless, didn't it, Amy? I remember there were times when it was like, I don't think I can do this anymore, but look at you now, subhanAllah. And I see you stepping up as in such a courageous, confident way, and I just can't wait to see how your work in this world looks. Just give your baby and yourself a little bit more time before you don't have to quite launch into it yet.
Oh yeah.
But it's going to be
yeah.
But yes, thank you so much for making the effort to be here today. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you so much, Catherine.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
I think I'm just going to have to end the whole meeting. I can't find the end in the broadcast. So
okay, yeah, no worries. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.